All we can say is wow. We ran an NBA playoff special in which the first 99 packages sold were discounted down to $149, and pardon the pun, they sold like hotcakes. Well, NHL fans, do not fret, as we are not only matching that offer, but we are actually making it better. Starting Monday, April 25th, the first 99 packages sold using the code PUCK149 will not only get the entire NHL playoffs for only $149, but they will also get the rest of the regular season for free. That means that you can get over 2 months of NHL through the Stanley Cup Finals for under $19 per week. That's paying less than one single play package regularly priced at $25. Do not get shut out, as coupon code PUCK149 is good at both WagerTalk and Sports Memo, and only will be available for the first 99 packages sold, but you may use this code to purchase more than one NHL playoff package.
Welcome, everybody, to WagerTalk Today. A new week upon us. I'm Lawrence Presman, and that handsome cat is Teddy Covers. How was your weekend, my friend?
Well, I'll tell you what, Prez. If you don't have health, you don't have anything, you know? I don't know if you remember. I think it was last Thursday before the show I was talking to you guys on, and I was like, oh, my God, Kara was up all night. She had food poisoning. She was puking. She was, Well, it turns out it wasn't food poisoning. It wasn't bad takeout. It was a nasty little stomach bug that we went through the house. She had it. Isaac had it. I had it. Saturday morning, literally, I could not get out of bed to come and enter a pass on my computer. I was out of it, dude. I was puking and shitting, and it was just the worst. So it screwed up the weekend pretty good, and it pissed me off more than anything, Prez. The NBA run I've been on, you don't even want to know what my short list was this weekend. It was good. I'll just put it that way. And to be so sick that I couldn't even put up plays was really, really frustrating. And I just got caught up after the last time I got sick. Maybe I'm weaker post-COVID or something, but I don't like being one of those sick guys all the time. And now I'm behind again. I got to pass MLB today just to catch up to where I should have been. So frustrating weekend, Prez. I really thought that I missed some fine opportunities for myself. I was able to put up a play yesterday on the Miami Heat. That was pretty easy, but it was a frustrating weekend in the sense of I was fucking sick as a dog. Pardon my language.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. I don't know what to. I got no words of wisdom. I hope you feel better. I hope it's all past you and in the background, and you can continue your NBA run. Lots of NBA left still. The highlight of my weekend, I went golfing, and there's these things you can buy in the store that tell you how far the flag is from where you're standing, so you know which club to use. And they're like $300-400, but my friends have an app. So I call my buddy. I'm like, what app do you use? It's free. He's like, yeah, it's free. It's called U Swing. So I download the app, and I put my phone on the dining room table. Vivian walks past. I swear to God, it went like this. She was like, Lawrence, what are you downloading? Anyway, I had to explain that it wasn't U Swing. It was U Swing, as in a golf swing. So took you a little while. Anyway, Marco D'Angelo joining us at the top of the show. Arizona and the Dodgers, Houston and Texas. Kelly Stewart, she's going to look at Boston, Brooklyn, Utah, Dallas, and Art DiCesare at the end of the show. Excited to see Art. Teddy, before we even get anywhere near that, any bad beats you want to talk about? Anything you learned, or just move on because you were sick in bed?
That was what I learned this weekend. I learned that if you don't have health, you don't have anything. And I've been sitting here sick for the better part of the last month and a half, and it's really pissing me off.
Okay.
So that's what I learned. I did it at the top. You don't have to throw to me again. Thank you. Let's bring in Marco.
Oh, Teddy. Marco, just get in the show, man. $9 Mondays, everyone. Marco D'Angelo. And Marco is on a little bit of a heater. 14-8 so far to start the baseball season. Up $1,881 for $108 bettors. And 9-5 in the NBA playoffs. Way to go, dude. Welcome to the show.
Prez, I got to tell you, you finally actually told a good joke, good story to open the show, and that thing just flew right over Teddy's head. I'm sitting here, I'm cracking up off air, and Teddy's there like, huh?
I'm trying.
Fun
I'm
weekend.
doing my best here, buddy. I feel like I lost 20 pounds that I don't have to lose. You know what I mean? I'm like,
yeah, but Teddy, you can't. I know, like you were upset that you were that you wasted NBA winners that were left on the table. Prez isn't that funny that often. You wasted a good joke. Okay, that's an even rarer occurrence.
Yeah, and it was a true story, dude. Anyway, I didn't even make that one up. Not that I make the other ones up, but what can you do? Marco, let's get into this show, man. LA Dodgers at Arizona. I looked at the LA Dodgers for this game, Marco. This is the one team that you can bet -1.5 and feel good about yourself on a regular basis. When they win in bunches. You with me here or no?
No, not at all. Not with you at all.
And get Marco off the show, please.
Guys, you've heard the phrase, history repeats itself. Well, you know why it repeats itself? Because nobody pays attention the first time. And if you guys remember last year, every time I came on the show, it seemed I always do the Monday shows. And it seemed like every time the Dodgers and the Padres played a series, it was a weekend series because that was the premiere. Going into the season last year, it was supposed to be the Padres and the Dodgers. Well, it ended up being the Dodgers and the Giants battling to the final day of the season. But if you go back last year, after the 6th series that they played, when the Dodgers played the very next day, first series of the year, after that, they played on a Monday. They went to Seattle the next day. They lost 4-3 as a -185 favorite. After the second series of the season, they played Cincinnati at home. Again, a 185 favorite. The Dodgers lost 5-3. Third series, they played the Cubs at home. They lost 4-0 as a 245 favorite. Fourth series, they played Colorado the next day. 4-2 loss as a 245 favorite again. Now, the final 2 series, they did win the game following. But I'm going to point something out. Those 2 series were both in September. And if you remember last year, it was a battle right to the final day of the season with the Dodgers and the Giants. So those September games were very important, and they took care of business 5-1 over Arizona and 8-6 over Milwaukee. But 4-2, the first game after a Padres series last year, and they were monster favorites in all of those games. I'm going to go with Arizona, and I'm going to take them +1.5 runs here because they're such a home dog that they're even money at +1.5 runs. That's where I'm heading with this one. And as far as the pitcher for the Dodgers, Walker Buehler's not been his dominant self so far. 3 starts out of the gate, he's got a whip of 1.46. Those are not Walker Buehler type numbers, and mainly due to the fact that he's given up 15 hits in 15 2/3 innings, and he's got a strikeout to walk ratio of 11-6. Those numbers, what I just said about coming off a big series against the Padres, I'm taking Arizona.
So I agree with everything you said, and I'm impressed with your research, going back and looking every year last year after the Dodgers finished playing the Padres in a big weekend series, what happened. But here's my question. All right, you talked about all those games that the Dodgers actually won. Or lost, I'm sorry, lost as big favorites. There was 4 of the 6 that they lost as big favorites. Yeah. But yet you're taking Arizona +1.5 here. And I don't understand that because it's +170 versus even money. And in every Dodgers win, they won 11 out of 15 games. And every win, they won them all by 2 runs or more. And they won 8 of them by more than 2 runs. So when the Dodgers win, they always win by margin. And this is a game that they don't win based on what you were saying. So why you want to give that payback from +$1 to plus, instead of getting a +170 payback, +$1 payback with all you're getting is +1 run. If they lose by 1, that's worth it. Otherwise, it's a wrong decision to make.
I'll be honest with you. I toyed both ways before I sent my plays in last night, which way I was going to go with it. And the fact that I was getting even money, I decided to get the insurance policy of the extra run in that game. To be honest with it, split it up half and half if you want. Take it, money line, get the big price money line and put half the wager on with plus the 1.5. And if it does land, one, you got, the insurance policy there and, get back the other bet. But you're right. This screams for a money line money line play. And because you're dealing with a dog, you don't even have to be 50%. That's the beauty of baseball when you find angles like this. For me, this is a blind play. And, not often do I agree with you, Teddy, whenever you cross-examine me. But you're right. That it does make sense to grab the plus money there.
Marco D'Angelo, everyone, co-founder of WagerTalk.com. And Marco, last week, Teddy and I ran an incredible promotion, and we offered 2 hoodies. We took all the people who bought the package, spun them in a wheel, a cyber one, but I have proof. And we have 2 winners. We are going to announce those 2 winners after Teddy's big game breakdown. So stay with us. Marco, it's $9 Mondays. What do you have going for the clients?
Well, we've got a 4% play tonight in the NBA. NBA have been very selective, 9-5 out of the gate. We hit a big 4% play on Saturday. I passed yesterday's NBA games. Back in action tonight, so you can pick that up for just $9. It is, you gave some of my stats there. We're winning right now in all 3 of the big sports, hockey, baseball, and basketball. So we've been on a nice run. And when I release a 4% or higher, those plays have been like money recently. So let's keep that rolling tonight for $9.
Marco D'Angelo. Okay, brother, let's talk Houston and Texas. Houston just came off a nice, yet disappointing to me personally, win yesterday. Extra innings, man, against Toronto, a team that you got to get up for to play, got to get excited about playing. Now they're playing Texas, a rivalry situation. But, man, I got to think this is a bad spot for Houston. What do you like in this one?
Once again, I'm going to disagree with you, Prez. I like the Houston side, but I'm going to be looking at a first 5-inning wager here because I want starter versus starter here. I like Valdez, even though he's coming off a rough outing last time. I look for him to bounce back. That was against a pretty potent lineup against the Angels. His 2 previous starts to that, he pitched well, allowing just 1 run. His ERA in his 2 road starts is 0.93. Very solid whip, 1.03. But I'm looking at this one, 2 things here. You got Texas coming home off of a 6-game road trip. I like to fade teams in the first game back home off a road trip when they don't have a day off in between. And that's the case here. Now, it's not that they're going to be totally flat for Houston because Houston has been the top dog in that division and it's an in-state rivalry. But I'm looking at the pitcher they're putting on the mound. They've got Dane Dunning going, and he has just been an absolute nightmare. 3 starts this year. His ERA is almost at 6, 5.68. His whip is at 1.89. That means he's putting almost 2 batters per inning on. Now, Texas finally had a good series pitching-wise this weekend. Was that they finally fixed their pitching problems, or was it that they got the light-hitting Oakland A's as an opponent? If you take out those 3 games against Oakland, all of their other 12 games this season, they have allowed 4 runs or more, and in 9 of those 12, it has been 5 runs or more. Lastly, for me, and the reason I'm going to first 5 is because I think Valdez is going to outpitch Dunning. And I got a little stat here, but this is a full game stat. You've got Texas at home the last 2 seasons after allowing 4 runs or less 3 straight games. They're just 1-11 going back to the start of last season. And then here's a league-wide angle. And, I always love team stats, but when you get something that is league-wide, it's a bigger sample size, and there's more meaning to it to me because it's all teams involved. Play against any underdog in the American League who's allowing 4.9 runs or more per game after a game in which you had a combined score of 2 runs or less. The last 5 years playing that angle, 50-12. 50-12 over 5 years. So everything lines up for me with Houston in this one. I'll go ahead and take them first 5.
So you talked about Dunning's struggles, but I want to ask you about Valdez's struggles. You said Dunning had a whip of close to 2. Valdez's last 2 starts, 10 hits, 9 walks, 7.1 innings of work. That's a whip close to 3. And both of them were Houston losses. Houston's a sub-500 team right now. They're just a couple games ahead of Texas out of last place in the AL West. Is this really a team right now you want to be laying a price with a struggling hurler on the hill?
Well, Valdez's, those numbers, most of that came in that last start, and they left him in there a little bit too long, be the sacrificial lamb, giving up 6 runs against the Angels in that lopsided loss. The other loss was a 3-2 loss, and then he had a 3-1 victory in his first start. But you go back to last year to his starts against Texas, he was absolutely dominant last year in those 2 starts. 2 starts, 13 innings pitched, allowed just 2 runs over those 13 innings. Now, the big problem for Valdez, and it's been something that's been his bugaboo for years, is when he gives up walks. This is a guy that is prone to giving up walks. That's the concern with him. But I'm looking at this one, like I said, first 5 innings. I think that the Houston bats are going to be able to get to Dunning. Dunning has just not shown anything in any of his 3 starts. And his lone start against the Astros, he got pounded, where at least Valdez has a good history against Texas. And those were 2 starts last year. And if you even go back 3 starts to the year before, it was another dominant one by Valdez. He went into the 7th inning, allowed just 1 run, struck out 11 in that game, and only gave up 1 walk. So he's got a good history against this team.
Marco D'Angelo. Marco Gruff, man. Thanks for coming on, guys. Marco's got a NBA play up tonight for his clients. He's 9-5 to start the season, to start the playoffs. It's $9 Mondays. Head over there and grab it. Teddy, get ready. You got your big game breakdown coming. We got the draw to give out 2 hoodies right after that. Kelly Stewart, Art DiCesare, and a hard stop at 12:45. Stay with us, everyone.
Each and every Monday is $9 Monday at both WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com, when all daily picks packages are priced at only $9, including 5% best bets, normally priced at $35. As an added bonus, any picks packages loaded early for Overnight Tuesday or action during the week will also be priced at $9 until midnight on Monday. So make sure to take advantage of getting these $25 and $35 picks for only $9 before the clock strikes 12 and they return to regular price.
It is time for today's big game breakdown. Let's go to the association and take a look at game 4 between the Celtics and the Nets. Looking at the WagerTalk live odds screen right now, I'm seeing Brooklyn a 1-point home favorite, a little bit of money for Boston since the opener. Total sitting at 220. And you can understand why the money has come for Boston off the opener. It's been a pretty one-way series. The Celtics have found different ways to win. They stole game 1. They rallied back from a deficit in game 2. They controlled game 3. And when it's not just one way to win, but multiple plays to win, that's certainly a positive sign. The other thing that Boston's done, obviously, is they've done it on the defensive end. that Kevin Durant had never averaged less than 24.5 points per game in any postseason series. He's only averaging 22 points on 38% shooting here and almost 6 turnovers per game as well. Kyrie Irving, who was so great in the opener, has been basically a non-factor in each of the last 2 ball games. He's been cold, just 26 total points in those 2 contests. So it's a Brooklyn team whose stars are struggling. Boston is a team with a history with this core group, with Tatum and Brown. They've had a recent history of closing out series with sweeps. All right. They swept the 76ers in the bubble. They swept Indiana the first round the year before that with Brown and Tatum as their big 2. And I know it's not easy to back a team in a sweep. We've seen the Raptors and the Nuggets both win straight ups and against the spread, down 0-3 at home. But Raptors and Nuggets are both hungrier and younger than Brooklyn. This first round's going to have at least one sweep, right? This is it. Bring out the brooms. Take the Celtics to knock off the Nets and close out their series in Brooklyn tonight. There's your big game breakdown. Back to you, Mr. Prez.
Teddy covers. Outstanding work, my brother. So, guys, last week we had a promotion running, the Odd Couple promotion. We had a ton of people jump on board. And I mean, seriously, Teddy, it was an unbelievable promotion. We'll run it again in like 6 weeks or something. We took all the people's names. We put them in some digital thingamajiggy. And the first winner, this is all legit. Like, it was a digital thingamajiggy.
I'm sure.
I don't know what the digital thingamajiggy is, but we did not hand pick.
Yeah, there's no bias here. All right, yeah,
so the first winner is Kelly Stewart. Kelly did not win. So nobody can read that, but I just want to show it.
Correct.
Hey, Kel, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show,
hey.
Kel.
Thanks,
You're
Prez.
here for the giveaway. So Douglas Baines is our first winner. His username is Wizenowski. Douglas.
Yeah, don't use real names.
No, it's the Dougler. His username is the Dougler. The second winner, username Wizenowski, Daryl Bratcher. So Daryl Bratcher and Douglas Baines, both with DB. Maybe Dwayne Bryant did the draw. Email customer service. You have 2 hoodies waiting for you. Anyway, Kelly Stewart, everyone. How are you, Kel? You have a good weekend?
Hey, life is good. I had a good Sunday. I had the Pels last night. That was really nice. I stayed off a loser. I told Twitter, hey, these early games, I didn't really love much. I leaned towards the Hawks, so glad that I avoided that one. Nice Pels money line winner. When it dropped to 2, I thought, I like this reverse line movement. I like this Pels team. And hey, frankly, the Suns are a little banged up. We're going to see how Devin Booker does if they can get out of this series. But man, Teddy, are you a little nervous about your Suns' future?
Very. I mean, the one guy they couldn't lose was Booker. And I said it. I'm like, if you look back at the at the big game breakdown when I was talking about Phoenix to win the West, I'm like, they're virtually injury proof. The only guy who I'm worried about is Devin Booker. If Booker gets hurt, he's the one guy they can't replace, and Booker's hurt right now. So. Yes.
So Suns fans at Teddy_covers, he jinxed your guy. Be mad at him. You had to put that in the universe, and Devin Booker goes down, Teddy.
Well, but as long as Booker gets back, we don't know exactly how long, but if Booker's back for the second round, I think Phoenix will be just fine. Yeah. That said, Golden State's look pretty good. And we'll see what happens with Dallas, Utah. But the Warriors continue to be a threat in the West, even after their Game 4 loss.
Kelly Stewart. Kel, I got to ask you a question. We got a big round 1 matchup between 2 of the top 5 teams in hockey. That should not happen, by the way. For the record, 2 of the top 5 teams in all of hockey should not play in the first round. One wears a maple leaf and the other a lightning bolt. You are in Tampa Bay. I am in Toronto. Are you going to go to any of the games, and can we make a side wager at even money? I haven't seen the lines. I don't know.
I
what
haven't
they're
seen the
gonna
line
be.
either, Prez. Full disclosure, I haven't seen the line, so I usually think that's a bad bet. Just going in blind. I have been to several Bolts games this last year. It's an incredible atmosphere. Who gets home ice in this one?
It'll likely be Toronto.
Okay.
Yeah, there are no
It's like
lines.
So
90%.
I'm gonna give you the slight edge, but I still will give you a side bet here for the series. You figure out something fun. We can talk about it on the show, but I'll take it. Just, you know me, I like to gamble.
Okay, we will come up with something and report back. Kel, you got 2 games to discuss. Boston versus Brooklyn. I don't think anyone expected a sweep. Could it happen tonight?
You know, I love when Teddy covers, and I agree. And I was kicking myself when I got up this morning and I saw that this line had dropped, and I said, my God, why did I wait? You know, I thought we'd see a lot of people come in on the Nets thinking they wouldn't get swept, but boy, was I wrong. This is a Boston defense that has been playing lights out, holding Brooklyn to over 4 points less than what they were averaging on the season per game. Look, this is a Nets team that is just star-studded. I almost wonder if it's too star-studded. Look, you're going to either get Kyrie or Durant to go off in one of these games. I'm going to hope that they're cashing it in tonight because I like the Boston Celtics. You guys know, super old adage, take the better defense plus the points here. Plus, Jason Tatum has been so good. He's made me excited to watch this Celtics team. And I think if the Celtics play the way they played in the first 3 games, Teddy's right, bring out those brooms. We're going to see a sweep in the first round.
I don't see you with brooms in your hand very often, Kel. I can't. I just can't picture. You don't seem like the. Are you run around the house domestic sweeping? I just don't see it.
I'm a Dyson girl. I like to turn the Dyson on high.
Dude, didn't you see her garbage bins lying all over the street last week on Twitter?
I was furious. Prez.
No.
Prez. Let's not revisit that. Tomorrow's trash day. I'm going to go make amends with the trash man. Tell him I'm sorry for putting his dirty laundry on Twitter, and we're going to be buddies again. I'm going to tip him a 20 and say, don't let this happen again, please.
Yeah, give him like a red velvet cupcake. I had one on Saturday. I hadn't had one in a long, long time. It was freaking delicious. Utah versus Dallas, Kelly. Mike's yours.
You know, this is a tough one, Prez. This is the Jazz have just been, what's a good word here? Kind of lackluster, if you will, because they were so electric during the regular season, right? They had the number 1 offense. And then now Dallas has got this defensive scheme that's kind of played a little bit of lockdown ball, if you will. This is a really exciting Mavs team. If Luka plays full minutes, right? We know that he played 34 minutes the other night. With him back and healthy, I like Dallas tonight. The only interesting thing here is this one opened 4, dropped to 3. Now, I mentioned reverse line movement in the first game. That always makes me a little wary, but I like this Mavs team. I like this Mavs team going into the series. If you remember, we talked about it here. I like the Mavs to win the series as well. I gave this one out to a guy on Twitter earlier. And for what it's worth, I mentioned that Dallas defense. I lean towards the under in this one as well.
So game 1 and game 2, both in the Dallas +5, +5.5 range at home. Now here we are, Luka back in the lineup. And Dallas, you said they were as high as -4. Now it's 2.5 and 3 this morning. Is Luka worth that much? Is Luka worth 8.5 points? Or is this more than just Luka? Is this the situational spot with Dallas coming off the loss with the series on the line this evening?
Well, we can argue the zigzag theory all day, Teddy, right? We've seen guys like our good friend Ralph talk about it and share the stats along with it. So that is a small portion of it. No, Luka is not worth 8 points. He is not. And that's why I think we did see some money coming on the Jazz here. The guy that I gave it to said that he was looking for something to parlay with John Rahm in a PGA matchup. And I said, you know, I am not in the business to lay -150. I just can't do it. I do lean towards the points, but I'm looking right now. You can find Mavs to win the series minus 135 if you like that price a little bit better. But I do like Dallas tonight. The edge at home, the edge with Luka. I think there's just a lot of boxes this checks. And while it may seem square, I'm trying not to overthink this one. I think Dallas gets the win and the cover at home.
There you go. Kelly Stewart, everyone. Boston Celtics, Dallas Mavericks. And Kel, one of our listeners suggested a carrot cake instead of the red velvet cake. I like them both, but I'm telling you.
What kind of monster is he? The only good thing about carrot cake. No. Carrot cake is okay. It's the cream cheese frosting that makes it.
That's
red velvet cake
part.
is good, and it's the cream cheese frosting that makes it. But if you're just going to eat plain cake, because they have the same frosting, it's red velvet all day.
Just get a can of cream cheese frosting and work it that way. And forget the cake. Extra calories.
Yeah.
That is probably also correct.
Yeah,
Teddy's able to do that for us.
Idea.
He's not short and stocky like we are. He's tall and skinny. He could eat jars of cream cheese frosting and not gain a single pound.
Kelly, you're so right. I mean, if Teddy stood sideways, you wouldn't see him. Like, he could be like a deadly assassin. He is so freaking skinny. And it's so true. I mean, you could eat cream cheese icing till you're blue in the damn face. Anyway, Kel, awesome stuff. Anything to talk about quick? Where can people see you, hear you, et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah, I've got a busy week. I'm headed to Costa Rica on Saturday, so I'm trying to appease all of my media commitments between now and then. I'm going to be here every single Monday on WagerTalk Today. Right after, I'm doing a show called Money Shots on Barstool Sports with Megan making money. Wednesdays, I'm going to be joining Jay Money and Ski Profit on Jay Money's show at noon. And then I'll be doing Money Shots again on Wednesday. Obviously, I'm going to be capping all the NBA games. I always give out all my stuff on Twitter. But boy, oh boy, Prez, can I not wait to go on vacation? 15 days. I'm probably still going to be working and giving out NBA plays. Of course I will.
Kelly Stewart, everyone. Kel, thanks so much for joining us. Teddy, Johnny just sent me a funny story. I better read it quick about you. Dude, you remember?
Uh-oh. I don't know it. Yeah, read it before you say it on air.
Yeah, so funny story on Teddy. When he was sick this weekend and did not have a play, someone emailed in asking where his picks were. And Jason said Teddy passed today. Dude emailed back saying how sorry he was for our loss. He was a big fan.
That's funny. Yeah, there it is. Da-dunch.
Art DiCesare! Art, baby. How are you, man? How was your weekend?
It was good. It's a pleasure to be here, boys.
Yeah,
Art on a Monday. This is
it.
freaking me out.
I know.
Yeah, it's like it's all different. It's like, wait a minute, what? Mondays. We'll get used to it. It won't take long.
6 more likes if you want a presidential address today, guys. Teddy, pull some incredible info out of Art DiCesare, would you?
So, Art, when do the Westgate draft props, SuperBook draft props come up? Do they come up? Are they coming up? The draft, and is there still that 24-hour rule here in Nevada where the draft props don't last on game? You don't have to bet them on draft day.
Yeah, so that's a great question, Teddy, and I've actually had multiple people in my life ask me that. Obviously, the draft is this Thursday. It's in town. We're sitting here on a Monday morning. Now, I was told over the weekend we would get them up at some point this week. I'm thinking they'll probably be out later today or maybe even tomorrow morning, and then you'll really only have that 24 to 36-hour window to make the bets. Yeah, I'm pretty confident we'll have them out. You know, if you're in town, keep checking your app, keep, sportsbook, keep asking and seeing if they're coming out. But I'm pretty confident later today, early tomorrow, because, the draft has become, a bet on type of thing. Obviously, the NFL attracts a lot of bets. The NFL draft is no different. And with it being in town, there's going to be plenty of people in town at this draft. So it's up for the people to bet, and we certainly will have.
So they're calling this, and I've seen it a couple times now, that this is supposed to be the single biggest event in the history of Las Vegas, which is fairly significant. We've had a fair few pretty big events here, but they're saying you can't get a hotel room. The Ubers charging triple surge prices. It's going to be insane on or near the Strip, basically all week this week. When it comes to the Westgate, what are you guys doing for the draft? You guys having a draft party? I know you're not right there by center stage over by Bellagio. What are you guys doing to attract an audience?
One of the big things we're going to do is we're actually going to open the theater. And we obviously open the theater for big events. We open the theater for March Madness, the first couple days of that, NFL Sundays, playoffs, Super Bowl. So that just goes to show what the NFL draft is. The NFL draft, we're going to open the theater doors. I believe it's 4 p.m. on Thursday. The draft goes off at 5. And that whole first round, you can come and watch it in the big theater in the Westgate. So that just goes to show, we don't open the theater for NBA playoffs or NHL playoffs or the World Series. We open it for a select few events. So theatering will be available Thursday for round 1 NFL draft at the Westgate.
Did you say theatering?
He did.
Theater seating.
I like that.
Yes, sir.
That's a great word. Art DiCesare, Teddy covers us, and this Canadian finds what you guys are talking about to be fascinatingly idiotic. Like, I mean, I understand that a starving man would find a shitty piece of food delicious, but nobody is starving in the betting world anymore. I mean, you can make bets all day, all night on every single thing. And this is the big thing? A freaking boring draft that you can barely watch, that is painful. You have to sit through Mel Kiper talking his freaking, I had that guy as the best player. Guess I was wrong again. I have this guy still on the board.
You'll never hear Mel Kiper say, guess I was wrong again.
What?
That's one you'll never hear.
Yeah, that's
guess
for
I
sure.
was wrong again. Yeah.
Yes, I'm famous.
Stay focused, Prez.
Anyway, I don't get it. I don't understand it. It's boring as shit. I don't know why anybody would watch it, and I don't know why anyone would bet on it. Art, we got 3 hoops games today. Boston, Brooklyn, Toronto, Philadelphia, Utah, Dallas. Man, I'm going to ask you about the Toronto game. +8. I know Van Fleet is out. Have you seen or heard any bets that we should know about or any thoughts on that particular game? Because it is a game we have not discussed today.
Yeah, Prez, obviously game 5, Sixers up 3-1 off elimination. When we opened it was 8, and it actually went to 7.5 briefly, and then the Van Fleet news comes out, goes back to 8. I mean, this is a tough spot. I think this is a game that probably won't attract a lot of action with, even though the Brooklyn game, the Brooklyn and Boston game is basically a sweep, but those have the stars in it, and then the other series is 2-2, so probably will be the least bet game out of the 3. Totals moved a little bit. It was 210, now 211, so not really crazy amount of action or actionable info on this game.
We've got just a few minutes left here with Art DiCesare, the risk manager supervisor over at the Westgate SuperBook at ArtDice21. He's an excellent follow on Twitter. And Art, I've got 2 questions for you, and they're both the same question, but it comes to different sports. All right. What's been the story of the NBA playoffs so far from a betting perspective? Is there anything that stands out as like, this has been the deal with the NBA playoffs, overs, unders, dogs, competitive series, non-competitive series, action coming one way, action coming the other way? What would you say is the biggest story so far from a sports book standpoint here in the postseason?
I would say NBA-wise, I would say, Teddy, probably the favorites. There's been a lot of favorites. A lot of these series really haven't been that competitive so far. We had a couple series yesterday staving off elimination. So one tonight that could be a sweep. The Mavs Jazz, which looks like it could go 7. That's probably the most exciting series, but outside of Luka doesn't have really a lot of juice. Obviously, the Suns Pelicans is going to get a lot of love too because that's a 1 seed who had a major injury. A lot of people were high on the Suns going into this playoff. So that would be an interesting series to see what happens over these last 3 games. But I would say so far it's the favorites.
And now I'm going to ask the exact same question for MLB. But for baseball, let's talk about, what are we now, 3 weeks into the season, 3.5 weeks into the season? Like, what's been the early story in MLB? Favorites, dogs, run line bets, overs, unders. The wise guys love this team. The wise guys hate that team. If you had to say, what's the lead story for MLB early on, what would you say it was?
Well, I would say it's the unders. There just have not been a lot of overs in baseball. It's if you just go through team by team and you look at their over-under records, there might be like 1 or 2 teams who have, an 8-6 or a 7-5 or something like where they're just bare on the games they played. Most of these teams are cashing unders and cashing unders, at a pretty substantial rate. So I'd say the unders.
And
Teddy, one more baseball question for you. Go ahead, Teddy.
Okay. Yeah. I was just going to say the last question. In terms of today's MLB card, where are you seeing action coming from the Sharps? Where are you seeing action coming from the Publics? Anything stand out on Monday's MLB slate?
Absolutely. 2 teams that have been catching some money early today. Mets at Cardinals. We opened Mets 140. It's gone to 155. So early Met money. I think a lot of that has to do with Scherzer. Scherzer's gotten off to an excellent start. 3-0 with a 2.5 ERA. And Scherzer actually, for us, has become like a big Cy Young liability. He shot all the way up the board to 5-1 with Corbin Burns. So he's been really riding up that Cy Young train. A lot of people betting him early in the season. And the Red Sox. Red Sox money's come early. It was Blue Jays minus 140. Now it's minus 120. So Boston money early and Met money early.
Art DiCesare, everyone. Westgate Risk Manager Supervisor. A great follow at RDice21. I'm asking you one question. You have 30 seconds. What is the future bet in hockey? The one you're seeing the most to win the Stanley Cup? Any particular team jump out at you?
Prez, I can't wait to talk to you about this next week. But if you just look at it, Avalanche and Flyers are both 4-1 to win the Cup. Everyone else after that is 10-1 and
Not
above.
Flyers.
So the two, that's right. Panthers. I'm sorry, Panthers and Avalanche, and then everyone else is 10-1. So Avalanche probably come out of the West. To me, the East is wide open. There's probably some value on those double-digit teams to come out of the East.
Art DiCesare, everyone. Awesome stuff, Art. Next Monday, we're going to talk a lot about hockey as we get into the playoffs. Outstanding stuff. Anything quickly to promote?
Yeah, like I said, the NFL draft coming down, on Thursday. We're going to have the theater open. So come down if you're big NFL draft guys. I know Prez won't be there, but, come down. We'll have all the theater seating and anything you need draft-wise, we'll have you covered on Thursday.
Awesome stuff. Art Dice, everyone. Charlie's creation. I see your text. I don't have a response for you. I can't even remember. Teddy, he wants to know about Dallas Mavericks. Kelly liked Dallas. What did you had a thought on that game, right?
I have a play on that game. You can get it right now. Just $9. $9 Monday over at WagerTalkingSportsMemo.com. It is time for Prez's Daily.
Well, guys, I'm going to make this quick. We had a promotion last week, the Odd Couple promotion. We gave away 2 hoodies. Today, the first hoodie went to Douglas Baines, and the second hoodie went to Daryl Bratcher. Please email us at customer service. Grab your hoodies. I have got 2 baseball plays for my clients tonight and 2 NBA plays. All 4 of them, only $9. So make sure to grab that. My 2 plays tonight. I like the Dodgers minus 1.5. Marco was on the show earlier today. He liked the Arizona Diamondbacks. If you listen to Wager Talk today at the beginning, you'll find out why I am not with them. I like the LA Dodgers minus 1.5, and I like Philadelphia Phillies over the total. Teddy covers. That's it, baby. I am literally having a shawarma today. It is Shawarma Monday. Take us home, bro.
Sure, that's going to wrap it up for WagerTalk
Tell us
today.
who's coming on tomorrow. Tell everybody about tomorrow's first segment.
You tell me about tomorrow's first segment. In the meantime, that's going to wrap it up for today's WagerTalk. Today's show. We'll do it again tomorrow with a special guest. Prez is supposed to give the special guest, but apparently he took his headphones off too soon. And stay tuned right here for the opening line report. We're going to talk NFL draft. Myself and Drew Martin coming up at the top of the hour. Enjoy the games tonight, and good luck.
All we can say is wow. We ran an NBA playoff special in which the first 99 packages sold were discounted down to $149, and pardon the pun, they sold like hotcakes. Well, NHL fans, do not fret, as we are not only matching that offer, but we are actually making it better. Starting Monday, April 25th, the first 99 packages sold using the code PUCK149 will not only get the entire NHL playoffs for only $149, but they will also get the rest of the regular season for free. That means that you can get over 2 months of NHL through the Stanley Cup Finals for under $19 per week. That's paying less than one single play package regularly priced at $25. Do not get shut out, as coupon code